to be able to generate income. You gotta have leads. Now those leads start out with your own warm market. How many of you know people? I should get 100% on that one. I'm just saying, how many of you know people, right? Yeah. All right, that's great, I still got about 85%. When I first started this business, my enroller, he says, listen, the fastest way from start to money is you gotta make a list. That was 38 years ago. You know what I still tell people today? The fastest way from start to money is you gotta make a list. I mean, if you're in love with Renatus, if you're in love with real estate education and with investing, then why in the world would you want to share that with other folks, right? Now, most of the time, it's because you're afraid of damaging the relationship. You're afraid of what they might be thinking, right? And I get that. But there are simple, easy, professional ways to do it. Scout Row's going to share some with you this afternoon that are absolutely rock solid. You can do it on Facebook all day long. I mean, simple ways to gauge interest so you can pre-qualify people, and that way you're only talking to people that are serious, not just that are curious. I love this business because if you do it right, it's not a problem. I always tell people the first thing you ought to do when you get involved is you gotta make a list. Make a list of a couple hundred people, at least. I'll never forget the first time I sat down to make a names list. It took me about 3 hours. I pulled together yearbooks and neighborhood directories and church directories and all sorts of things. I got all sorts of memory joggers in front of me, started going through the phone book. This a while ago we used to have those. We went through occupations. Who do I know that's an attorney? Who do I know that's an accountant? Who do I know that is in the airline industry? Who do I know that teaches aerobics? Who do I know that needs aerobics? That was a bigger list. Who do I know? And I would just write them down. About 3 hours later, I had 650 people on my names list. 650 people. It was like, dang. I pushed away from the desk. I looked at it. I thought, I am popular. Without that names list, I would have been bankrupt. And then what I did is I just went through and I said, okay, who are the top people that I want to be in business with? And those are the folks that I want to contact first, right? Now the top people, here's one of the simplest ways that you can get people that are on what we call your chicken list introduced to Renatus. Now you know what a chicken list, right? Chicken list is anybody that you're chicken to call. So your chicken list, then you get your 5-star involved with you, and you simply call your chicken list and set an appointment for them to talk to your 5-star. And it's really a simple conversation. And then you get on the phone with your 5-star and the person on your chicken list, and you listen to what they have to say so you can learn in the process. That's the beauty of it. You make a list and then you start working your list. And that's critically important. Now everybody says, well, can't I just run an ad? Can't I just do some Facebook posts? Can't I just do this? Yeah, you can do that, but why not do all of the above? How many of you would like to start slow in this business? It was a trick question, wasn't it? Yeah. How many of you want to start fast in this business? Then don't mess around with it, because I'm here to tell you as one who knows, if you slow start this business, it's painful. It takes more time to build momentum, to build success, to start generating income. You've got to fast start this business, which means it's all out massive action, man. All out massive action. You don't leave any stone unturned. I can remember the first time I got involved in a direct sales company that has a similar compensation structure. It was in the travel industry. Now, I had been in a number of different network marketing companies before this. But I loved this plan because I could make $1,000 to, I think it was like $7,000 to $7,000 on a single purchase, or transaction. And I was so jacked up about that because I had been selling lotions and potions and stuff. The ones where you've got to go out and enroll half the population of a small continent just to make enough money to pay off your starter kit, right? And I didn't like that. So all of a sudden I'm dealing with bigger ticket items, which I loved, because what I found out firsthand is it takes about the same amount of effort and energy to sell somebody a $2,000 or a $20,000 program as it does to sell them a $200 or a $500 program. Kind of wild how that works. So I got jacked about it. So the first thing I did is I made a list. I made a list, and then I identified the top 100 people. Not just the top 10, but the top 100. Now, I didn't have anybody helping me. I mean, the guy that enrolled me in that program, I knew a whole lot more than he did, so I just told him to get out of my way and let me go to work, right? Which is a lesson. I made him a lot of money. You are only one recruit away from having a financial explosion in your business. Do you get that? I mean, really? Yeah, think about that. I mean, Wanda's back there ready to apply. How would you like a Wanda Carrasquillo in your business? Yeah? What would your business look like if you got a Bob Tierney enrolled? Yeah. Would you have to do much, or would you just simply enroll in, say, here's all the stuff, here's what you learn, and then get out of his way, right? How would you like a Scott and Nancy Rowe in your business? What would your income look like if you had a Michael Huggins or a... And that's what happened with my enroller in this travel deal. I got on the phone with people and I started having conversations. My goal was to get through the entire list of 100 in the first week. The first week, there are people that are 5 years in and haven't contacted 100 people, right? First week. So I got on the phone, man, and I got busy. And now these were folks who I had talked to about previous opportunities as well, you know, and some of them had opinions about that they wanted to share. Some of them thought I was just crazy. Some of them told me to go get a job. I actually had 2 job offers while I was going through this. And the vast majority of them told me no. Said no. Some of them said heck no. A little stronger language than that. That's Utah talk for strong language. So they said, heck no, and but I just kept dialing, and I was just calling them up saying, listen, you know me, man, I've been looking for the right opportunity for a long time. I have found it, and I want to make sure that you get an introduction to it. And it was no, yes, oh, right on, okay. Out of that, I got, it was 4 people that I enrolled personally, and then I helped each one of them kind of get a start, so they got 3 more. My first week in that business, I made $7,000. Now, you know what you do with the $7,000 first week story? You start calling all the people who told you no the first week and saying, hey, I don't know what you missed, but you missed it. I mean, man, we're getting a great start. I've added 7 people to my team. You got $7,000 in commission my first week. I'm loving what we're doing here. And we are taking this thing to the moon, and I'm going to do it again this week. Don't you think you ought to take a look so you don't get past 5? And I got 6 more people the next week, and another $6,000. You know what you do with the first 2-week, $13,000 income story?
Tell more people.
Yeah, talk to more people. I called people, the next week and said, hey, here's where my business is at. I made $24,000. It was actually 23 or 24. I always forget the number. But it was $23,000 or $24,000 my first month. By my 4th month, I was at $84,000 for the month. That's not too shabby, right? So you can either talk to 100 people over the next 5 years, or just make a goal to talk to them the first week. Now, I didn't get a hold of all of them. You got to remember that. I mean, I only got a hold of somewhere between 60 to 70 of them. But out of that 60 to 70, it launched my business. And then you know what happens when you launch your business like that? Does Caesar know people that I don't know? If I enroll Caesar, and I get Caesar to build a list, to make a list, right? And then we go to work on those individuals. Caesar's going to learn how to build a business in the process, because I'm going to be with him, teaching him. This is called the equipping process, right? And then, when we get somebody on the phone, because Caesar is introducing me to some of his top people, we're going to set an appointment to show them the business. And Caesar and I are going together to meet with his guests. right? And here's the great thing about it. When we meet with his guest, we're going to show him the epic presentation. Caesar's going to take notes, and he's going to be learning and watching what I do while I'm showing his guest. It's not a bad way to get to hands-on training, right, as we go along. The other thing I'm going to do with Caesar is I'm going to say, all right, you're going to make a list, and we're going to do a private business reception for all of your people. And we're going to set up a meeting where I'm going to do the presentation for Caesar and his people. And he's going to invite those folks. I'm going to do the meeting, and once again, he's going to learn from me on how that all happens. What I want to do is I want to help Caesar work his list. Because here's what you got to remember. Because of the way that this is all put together, there's a synergistic relationship between myself and Caesar. His leads are my leads. You get that? Because I'm helping him build his business, I'm building my business. So I can have a warm market, I can have a big list, but as soon as I start to enroll people, I'm going to shift some of that time to working with them. And now the leads he has, I'm working, and I'm helping him build his business. And as I help him get a few people enrolled, you know what I'm going to do next? I'm going to pick one of them. That might be one. We've done a number of meetings together. We've done follow-ups together. We've explained the compensation plan together. We've enrolled people together. We've put the orders in the system together. Or Caesar, I should say, Caesar knows now what to do, and he's ready to stand on his own 2 feet. One of the things that I used to share with people when I first get them started is I said, my goal is to help you to become independent from me as fast as humanly possible. That's my goal. You do not want to be building this business on my timeline. I certainly don't want to build it on yours. I want to show you what to do. I want to equip you, and I want to help you. Best thing I can do for Caesar at this point is I'm going to take his guy, Juan, because I'm going to pick the best one, and I'm going to move down, right? I'm going to let Caesar start working with the rest of the folks. And I move over, and I start working with Juan. Guess what we're going to do with Juan? He's going to make a list. Right? He's going to identify his top 10. We're going to start working with those top 10 together. The rest of the folks he's going to invite over to the private business reception. Or if I'm not feeling capable of that, right, of doing a presentation, we're going to invite him to an epic presentation in the local market, where we're going to start building for an event of our creation. And then Juan and I, we're going to start talking to those guests that he gets to the meeting after the meeting. I had a really great conversation. Actually, Caesar, was that with you, or was this? Somebody asked me a question about what happens if you got more than one guest in a meeting.
That was me, Mom.
That was where? Oh, yes! Oh, that was Andres. Okay, so we had that conversation. He said, what happens if we get more than one guest to a meeting? I said, oh, that's golden. That's what you want in every single presentation. He said, you circle the wagons. That means at the end of the meeting, if I've got a guest over here, a guest over here, a guest over here, a guest over here, I'm going to say, hey, Matt, Steve, hey, Jonathan, come on over here for just a little bit. I'm going to be vocal about it. Come on over here, man. And I'm going to circle the wagons. We're going to set up chairs right here, and I'm going to sit down, and we are going to have a group conversation. And I'm going to size the group up, and I'm going to take the most positive person that I'm speaking with, right? And, who I'm getting that energy from. And I'm going to say, well, let me ask you, man. Matt, what did you like best about what you saw?
I love the opportunity to make money right away.
Excellent. What do you think Steve and Jonathan are thinking when he says that? A little social validation, right? Excellent. Well, that's dynamite, man. Well, I mean, after kind of taking a look at things here, is this something you can see yourself doing?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What do you think Steve and Jonathan are thinking? Great. So Steve, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, Matt's pretty positive about things. What did you like best about what you saw?
Community that bring people together and be able to do business together.
Good for you. I'm telling you, that's one of the best parts of being involved with this group. It's the associations and the conversations that we grow out of that. It's outstanding. Is this something you see yourself doing?
Sure.
Oh, right on, man. Hey, Jonathan, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, because Jonathan, I'm going to him last because he might be the biggest skeptic out of the group, right? Going, Jonathan, so, what did you like best about what you saw?
And support the people that are here and really, like friends.
Yeah. Excellent. Is this something you can see yourself doing? Well, I'm just kind of curious. I mean, Matt, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to get started tonight?
You know what? I mean, as long as the check's gonna clear, absolutely.
Right on, man. Right on. That's fantastic. Yeah. Well, excellent. Well, you know what? If money wasn't an issue at all, where would you like to get started? With the essentials or with an Epics combo like I did?
I would go all the way in with the Epics combo.
Well, fantastic, man. Let's get your order in the system. I'm just gonna ask Steve and Jonathan a question real quick here. But man, welcome to the team. It's gonna be great to work with you. And I'm gonna show you how to get a fast start in this business too. We're gonna start working together right away, right? Steve, I'm just kind of curious. Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to get started this, tonight?
No, I can think of no.
Yeah? Man, these guys are easy. This is fantastic. 3 for 3 on this one. Yeah.
You need an injection so we can
Jonathan's a skeptic, so he'll give you the injection. Great, let's get the order of the business. We're going to do the same thing. Then we go to Jonathan. Well, Jonathan, man, I mean, I'm thrilled to be able to, to welcome Matt and Steve into the business. What are your thoughts? Is there any reason why you wouldn't want to get started tonight?
Just maybe the timing.
Just the timing? What about the timing?
Well, certain situations that I have to clear up within family.
Yeah?
Can go ahead and
Family. So are you married?
I am.
Hey, did your wife, has she been to a presentation? Has she checked this thing out?
Actually, she has.
Oh my goodness. You know what? Listen, I want to make sure that the two of you can make a good decision together. I've got, let me think, man. Let me look. I'll pull my phone out, I'll take a look at my calendar. Say, listen, But now, here's the beauty of it, is that I've got Matt and Steve getting started with me immediately. And I'm looking at these guys and I'm going, oh man, I got a couple of rock stars here. I think maybe I want to spend a little bit of time with both of them. But I've got Jonathan lined up as well. So now Juan, these are your friends. We're going to help them get started. You've been with me through this whole process so you can see how I operate. We're going to enter the order, we're going to get them started, and we're going to get them enrolled in the 10-day challenge, and we're going to get them onboarded very quickly, right? So they start making their list so that we can start doing stuff with them. You are going with me every step of the way, just like Caesar did, right? And then, when I finally get to that point where I'm feeling pretty confident about where you're at, I'm going to move down, I'm going to start working with them, right? I'm going to help you make money by helping to build what we call a taproot through you to other individuals. And then I'm going to do the same thing with them. And then when they introduce me to people and we get them on board, I'm going to pick the best person and move down. And then when they help me get the best person involved, I'm going to move down. And every single time I add another person on the bottom of this taproot, if you will, what's going to happen is it excites everybody. If all of a sudden I enroll somebody under Steve, does that excite Juan? Sure. Yeah? Does that fire up Caesar? You know it, because that's a part of your organization. And it locks you in. I want to get your belief check as fast as possible, because that's the check you receive to help you believe that this is real, right? And you need to do that for your people. Now, there may be some of you that are going, oh, I'm just getting started. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. Great. Get with your 1-star, your 3-star, and your 5-star, put them to work, right? What happens if you got a 1-star, 3-star, 5-star that, they're not as proactive as you would like them to be? Does it happen?
Yes.
Yeah, it happens.
You can get one of your other come in the community.
Oh, that's an excellent suggestion. That's where you team up with somebody else in the community, right? See, a lot of times you're thinking, oh, well, if my upline stinks, I got no support. You can support one another. You can help one another.
I just want to show you how it breaks